सबैलाई युटिपडमा स्वागत छ। आज हामी कुरा गर्नेछौँ मुभिजको विषयमा। के छ खबर?
All good. I'm excited for this show.
ओके। सो हामी आज चाहिँ फोकस इन जेनरल नेपाली मुभिजको विषयमा गर्नेछौँ, नट मुभी स्पेसिफिक, जस्ट एज अ मुभी कल्चरको विषयमा कुरा गर्नेछौँ। एज यु अल नो, हाम्रो युटी फिल्म्सको को प्रोडक्सनको मुभी क्यान्समा छ अहिले एलिफेन्ट इन द फग। हामी त्यो मुभीको विषयमा चाहिँ कुरा गर्ने छैनौँ। वी गोना टक अबाउट द्याट इन लेटर एपिसोड्स। सो सृजन, तिम्रो ओपिनियन के छ त? लेटली नयाँ मुभिजको ट्रेलर हेरेर होला, कुनै नेपाली नयाँ मुभी हेरेको छौ छैनौ? वाट्स योर थट प्रोसेस नेपाली मुभी इन्डस्ट्रीको विषयमा?
Yeah, lately Nepali movie हेरेको like it's been a while. I think Kabaddi phone होला सायद last year ago. And one of the issue is that like नेपालमा एकदमै अहिले राम्रो मुभिजहरू बनिरहेको छ हैन, तर most of them are inclined towards really sad stories. It's like I understand it, they're going towards neorealism, but like most of them are like really emotionally draining movies. So yeah, I really don't want to watch emotionally draining movies. The movie that ends without any positive note and like the entire story नै kind of like emotionally दुःख पाएको खालको मात्रै स्टोरीमा हुँदाखेरि चाहिँ I mean like I want to watch something that has like positive ending or at least like हुन्छ नि silver lining भएको खालको मुभीहरू. तर लेटली राम्रो राम्रो मुभीहरू सबै चाहिँ like हुन्छ नि they have like similar like sad ending टाइपको topic पनि त्यस्तो छ. And yeah, that's why it's not been I have not been watching a lot of Nepali movie lately.
Yeah, I think मुभी भनेको इन जेनरल इमोसनल रोलर कोस्टर हो होइन? एन्ड लट अफ टाइम मुभीले चाहिँ के हुन्छ भने वी काइन्ड अफ तिम्रो प्रेजेन्ट स्टेट अफ mind of the country, of the society that live in, kind of reflects on movies, होइन? So I think sadder stories, त्यो चाहिँ it kind of also reflects overall mood of people, हुन्छ नि? I think that's the main reason त्यस्तो अलिकति इमोसनली ड्रेन्ड मुभीहरू फिल हुने हो मान्छेहरूलाई. प्लस लट अफ टाइम लाइक फिल गुड अथवा फनियर मुभिज हुन्छ नि, लाइक फनी भनेर नट इन अ सेन्स कमेडी मुभिज, बट त्यस्तो बिटहरू पुल अफ गर्न चाहिँ अलिक गाह्रो नै हुने हो होइन? सो आई फिल लाइक
yeah, sorry to interrupt. Like I'm not saying it has to be a funny movie, and like the entire movie ma चाहिँ the main character ko dukha like they portray it from different angles, and towards the end that character dies. So like it's not kind of roller coaster. It's just going downhill for emotionally, and like I know like you and I might disagree on this one, but the audiences, few of them are like emotionally invested in the movie, right? And like they tend to feel what character is feeling at the moment होइन. अनि त्यस्तो ट्यानमा त्यस्तो भइराख्दाखेरि चाहिँ यदि स्टोरी एकदमै डाउनहिल गइरहेको छ, एकदमै डिप्रेसिङ भइरहेको छ भने लाइक हुन्छ नि आफ्टर वाचिङ द्याट मुभी द्याट पर्सन माइट निड to like recharge from that emotional ride. And it also depends on like what that person is going through in their life as well, right? Like that person might not have appetite for that emotional drainage at that moment. होइन? So त्यो हुँदाखेरि चाहिँ like no wonder it's good movies होइन, तर am I ready for that? For example, like इमोसनली ड्रेनिङ मुभिजबाट चाहिँ म अलिकति टाढा नै बस्न खोज्छु होइन. लाइक जस्तै कि मैले रामलीला मुभी होइन, इट्स लाइक रोमियो एन्ड जुलियटको मुभी हो. आई वाच दि रोमियो एन्ड जुलियट डिक्याप्रियोको मुभी होइन. अनि रामलीला हेरिराख्दाखेरि चाहिँ मिड वे पोइन्टमा पुग्दाखेरि लाइक इट वाज टु मच फर मी क्या. लाइक आई स्टप वाचिङ आफ्टर द्याट. एन्ड त्यस्तो लाइक फ्यु मुभिजहरूमा भएको चाहिँ मलाई लाइक इट्स वे टु इमोसनली इन्टेन्स एन्ड आई स्टप वाचिङ आफ्टर द्याट.
लाइक लट अफ मुभिजहरू मलाई पनि लाइक या स्टोरी निड्स इट एन्ड अल द्याट होइन, तर कहिलेकाहीँ लाइक बच्चाले दुःख पाएको अथवा यो भएको like I cannot watch those kind of things too
Mhm.
होइन गाह्रो
Yeah.
हुन्छ तर as a filmmaker again your job as a filmmaker is to be true to the movie to the story that you are saying होइन
Mhm.
as long as you can keep me captivated in that space and make me feel like okay I am there म त्यो इन्भाइरोमेन्टमा छु भन्ने फिल गरायो भने चाहिँ I am kind of satisfied. Just for an example, त्यो मुभी थियो नि के को धागो के अरे रिसेन्ट मुभी
उनको स्वेटर.
उनको स्वेटर राइट
Mhm.
saddest story हो तर there is so much commentary like it's just little deeper हुन्छ नि I त्यो मुभी हेरुन्जेलसम्म I felt in that space
Mhm.
same thing with Saili I loved that
Mhm.
movie a lot
Mhm.
होइन I was captive in that space uh, तर I also understand like एउटै खालका मुभी एउटै टाइपको मुभी भइसकेपछि चाहिँ मान्छेहरूलाई जस्तो फर एन एक्जाम्पल आई गिभ यु एन एक्जाम्पल राइट इफ यु टेल मी इफ यु सो मी लाइक 5-6 वटा लाइक सर्ट्सहरू
Mhm.
नट लाइक होल क्लिप सर्ट्सहरू एन्ड से मी विच मुभी इज रामलीला विच मुभी इज पद्मावत विच मुभी इज बाजीराव मस्तानी आई क्यानट टेल द डिफरेन्स हुन्छ नि बिकज दे अल फिल सिमिलर टु मी लाइक
Mhm.
सेट डिजाइनदेखि लिएर एभ्रिथिङ दे फिल सिमिलर सो आई अल्सो अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड तिमीले भन्न खोजेको इमोसनल ट्रेन इज लाइक एउटै टाइपको स्टोरी धेरै मुभीमा भएमा इट डज फिल द्याट वे फर स्योर
Yeah, so main problem is that like राम्रो राम्रो मुभी जुन चाहिँ छ होइन लाइक सबै मुभी मोस्ट अफ द मुभिज फ्रम नेपाल इज लाइक द्याट क्या अहिले चाहिँ हुन्छ नि त्यो एकदम इमोसनल ड्रोइनिङ खालको एकदम इमोसनल स्टोरिजहरू एन्ड आफ्टर पशुपति प्रसाद आई थिङ्क द्याट्स वान द्याट ट्रेन्ड स्टार्टेड मेबी होइन अनि त्यसले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ लाइक you want to you are intrigued by like movie making filmmaking like cinematography story and all that you might not necessarily want to watch that movie at that point. Like
राइट
halka like I'm not saying कि स्टोरीले डिमान्ड नगर्दा नगर्दै पनि लाइक हुन्छ नि कमेडी एड गर्ने डान्स एड गर्ने अल अफ द्याट तर लाइक त्यो एउटै जनरमा फोकस भइरहेको छ अहिले चाहिँ जस्तो फिल हुन्छ मलाई होइन एन्ड लाइक रेस्ट अफ द मुभिज आर फाइन तर आउटस्ट्यान्डिङ मुभिज जुन चाहिँ नेपाली फिल्म इन्डस्ट्रीबाट आइरहेको छ दे आर मोस्टली अलिकति डार्क अलिकति स्याड अलिकति डिप्रेसिङ स्टोरिजहरूमा बेस्ड and most of them don't have like that silver lining as well. So you are kind of going home with emotional baggage with you, kind of like that.
या तर अगेन मैले सुरुमा भनेको कुरा पनि kind of implied हुन्छ क्या throughout the
Mm.
history होइन of like cinemas in different in different countries like it kind of sets the mood of that country in general like how the country is feeling how the people are feeling I feel like once we once we start changing like people's lifestyle changing people's like country mood starts changing I think you're gonna see that reflection in movies too I know so just moving away from story in general one thing I really am impressed lately about Nepali movies I would say जस्तै फर एक्जाम्पल नेपाली मुभिजहरूको सिनेमाटोग्राफी नराम्रो छैन क्या
Mhm.
पहिलेदेखि नै होइन
Mhm.
बिकज
Mhm.
इफ यु थिङ्क अबाउट इट नेचुरली नेपालको सिनहरू राम्रो छ नेपालको ल्यान्डस्केप राम्रो छ होइन सो लट अफ आउटडोर सिन्सहरू यिनीहरू they were the cinematography on those things was really really good होइन तर मेरो बिगेस्ट प्रब्लम चाहिँ के हुन्थ्यो भने नेपाली मुभिजमा yeah the cinematography looks good but for something to look good it's not just has to look good on the frame हुन्छ
Mhm.
नि
Mhm.
what does it imply on what's going on story
Exactly. Mm.
yeah does it add or does it like distract people from the actual story. Is it adding to the story or not, होइन? अनि त्यो चाहिँ ल्याकिङ थियो क्या.
Yeah.
Lately movies that I have watched, होइन, त्यो प्रब्लम बिस्तारै फिक्स भए जस्तो सेन्स आएको छ क्या मलाई. हुन्छ
Mhm.
नि, the cinematography alikati aligns with the storytelling, what's going on, होइन. But there is one other problem which I'm going to talk next. But what do you think about that?
Yeah, so I agree with that. होइन? Especially once like Nepali film industry चाहिँ digital camera convert भइसकेपछि, then we started seeing a lot of innovation, a lot of good cinematography and all of that. Prior to that, it was okay भन्छु म होइन. कुनै कुनै मुभीमा it might have
Mm.
been nicer, but like डिजिटलमा ट्रान्जिसन भइसकेपछि चाहिँ it has been a lot innovative and a lot better. And I think it also depends on the team itself, होइन? Uh, producer, director, and their vision as well. Now, camera is main path of storytelling in my view. And like story itself त्यहाँ छ होइन, तर क्यामेराले जति स्टोरीलाई अगाडि बढाउन सक्छ होइन, that's I think that's the highest value दिने खालको, highest impact दिने खालको चाहिँ from the actorको point of viewबाट भन्दा पनि like technical point of viewबाट चाहिँ क्यामेराको जसरी क्याप्चर हुन्छ, that is the main part of technical aspect of like storytelling, होइन. So it depends on the vision as well. कुनै कुनै मुभीहरूमा we can see that input from cinematography and DOP and director सबैको एउटा इनपुट देखिन्छ त्यसमा. कुनै कुनैमा technical aspectहरूमा चाहिँ हुन्छ नि, they kind of like lag behind, like they don't really focus on that. It's more like superstar driven हुन्छ नि, एक्टरलाई नै फोकस गरेर या डिरेक्टरको लाइक जुन चाहिँ भिजन छ, it's unchallenged, होइन. So you can see that in the frame itself, like मुभीको ट्रेलरहरू हेर्दाखेरि नै you can see कि technical aspectमा they haven't really focused on it. Like they are skilled cinematographers and all of that technical people, होइन, तर they haven't really focused एउटा जुन चाहिँ give and take हुन्छ होइन, त्यस्तो नभएको खालको पनि छ. तर like you said, cinematographyको point of viewबाट चाहिँ we have gone very far away and very far ahead right now. किनकि पहिला पहिलाको जुन चाहिँ डिजिटल हुनुभन्दा अगाडिको जुन चाहिँ रियल क्यामराजहरू थियो, they were expensive and we were not using latest cameras because they were so expensive. Reels were expensive, होइन, लाइक एक्सपेरिमेन्ट गर्नलाई पनि गाह्रो हुन्थ्यो. तर अहिले जुन चाहिँ डिजिटल मा जुन चाहिँ क्वालिटिजहरू छ क्यामराहरूको होइन, so that has given extra edge for नेपाली सिनेमा जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई चाहिँ.
That's true. Plus, I think त्यो अघि तिमीले जुन कुरा गरेको थियो, के भन्छ, स्टोरीको इन्टेग्रिटी versus के अरे स्टार पावर, लाइक फोकस एन्ड स्टफ लाइक द्याट, होइन. आई थिङ्क त्यो ओपिनियनमा चाहिँ मलाई के लाग्छ भने, कुनै पनि फिल्म मेकरलाई कन्सर्न हुने कि ओके, इफ आई डोन्ट ह्याभ इनफ स्टार पावर इन माई मुभिज, विल पिपल गन कम एन्ड वाच द मुभी भन्ने चाहिँ त्यो हुनु मेक सेन्स, होइन. तर lately I have started thinking that Nepali audience has wisen up, that I think they are looking for better movies, good movies, and they don't really care as much for like co-hero, co-heroine, what's the star and stuff like that, you know. So I feel like त्यो maturity नेपाली audience-मा बिस्तारै आइसकेको छ जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई चाहिँ, होइन. But I think filmmaker, प्रड्युसरहरूलाई चाहिँ त्यो कन्फ्लिक्ट अझै पनि छ कि हे, should I spend extra money on bringing this bigger star in my movies versus maybe spending more money on like rewriting the screenplay, and I think it's a wrong thing to think about जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई.
Yeah, त्यो पनि हो. And but at the same time, right, from a technical point of view, it's not necessarily about spending a lot of money. It might be about spending a lot of time and communicating with uh, cinematographer or like technical people, right? Because it doesn't really I'm not asking to like हुन्छ नि IMAX camera use गरेर film shoot गर भन्नु खोज्यो नि होइन होइन तर like cinematographerसँग कुरा गरेर okay how can we get this scene better होइन त्यस्तो खालको एउटा communication open communication हुन सक्छ नि त. I'm talking about
I
superstars. I won't take the name of the movie होइन तर it's one of the most successful franchise in Nepali film. अनि म like it's like almost like 10 years ago or like 8 years ago थिएटरमा हेर्न गएको थिएँ होइन. And I felt so like म जोसँग गएको थिएँ like everyone was sleeping and it was supposed to be a comedy movie होइन. अनि I was like suffering through the entire movie के हुन्छ नि. They had nice technical people and everything like हुन्छ नि one of the most popular actors that it seemed like it was just going after vision of actors and maybe director but not really like the technical aspect story writing. Nothing was there. Okay, it was just a drag, but still, it made a lot of money, and they have like 3 or 4 sequels after that as well. So this the movie ले सक्सेसफुल हुँदाखेरि एन्ड राइट लाइक राम्रो मुभीहरूले प्रड्युसर्स नपाउँदाखेरि डिस्ट्रिब्युटर्स नपाउँदाखेरि एन्ड when they don't like make a lot of money from like or rather they don't box office मा त्यति सक्सेसफुल नहुँदाखेरि चाहिँ it really hurts के.
Mm, then that's the dilemma like every other filmmaker gonna start having once that happens. Ki, like, should I put more focus on getting the right person than focus? And अर्को कुरा चाहिँ के पनि हुन्छ भने हाम्रो स्क्रिन प्लेहरूमा स्क्रिप्टमा हामीले जति टाइम स्पेन्ड गर्नुपर्ने त्यो हामीले खासै गर्छौँ जस्तो लाग्दैन इन जेनरल होइन. किनभने स्टोरी राम्रो हुनु एउटा कुरा हो होइन. इफ यु थिङ्क अबाउट इट सबै स्टोरी राम्रै हुन्छ कि मेरो ओपिनियनमा चाहिँ. आई थिङ्क नराम्रो स्टोरी भनेर स्टोरी इटसेल्फ खासै नराम्रो हुँदैन होइन. द वे आई थिङ्क इट्स एभ्री पर्सन हरेक मान्छेको लाइफ भनेको मुभी हो होइन. एन्ड मुभीमा डिफ्रेन्ट एक्सपेक्टहरू मुभीको एन्ड अल द्याट एभ्री पर्सन्स लाइफ इज अ मुभी. सो एभ्री स्टोरी क्यान बी अपिलिङ होइन. तर that was my problem. That is my problem. And I think जुन technicality cinematography वेबाट cinematography र स्टोरीमा कनेक्सन त्यसमा इम्प्रुभमेन्ट आए पनि आई थिङ्क हाम्रो अर्को इम्प्रुभमेन्ट चाहिँ केमा आइसकेको छैन जस्तो लाग्छ भने स्टोरी टेलिङमा चाहिँ त्यो इम्प्रुभमेन्ट आइसकेको छैन जस्तो लाग्छ. किनभने आई फिल लाइक you can make any story very interesting if you understand how to tell that story. I know it's not an easy thing to do. I know, but how do you want to tell that story? Is every scene connect like not? I'm not just pinpointing it in Nepali movie. In like a lot of times whenever I watch like even Hindi movies, I'm like, why is that scene over there? Like this scene kina त्यहाँ छ हुन्छ नि. Like it's not really adding anything to the overall story. You might think it is adding, right? It's not adding to the story. Like a lot of time whenever I watch like good movies, right? I just think about म जहिले पनि मुभी हेर्दाखेरि चाहिँ a lot of time when I watch first time and I like that movie and if I watch it second time I always like what could have been taken out. यहाँबाट के निकाल्न मिल्थ्यो के निकाल्न लाइक मेरो माइन्ड जहिले पनि त्यहीँ जान्छ क्या. लाइक is this necessary? Like that's my first question on my second viewing, and a lot of time I feel like there is so much unnecessary scenes in movie for no rhyme and reason. It's not adding. You might as like sometimes you might think it's adding, but it's actually not adding at all.
So here's the thing on that, right? Like the first time movie हेर्दाखेरि हामीले like it's new for us, right? So we try to go with the flow. And second time हेर्दाखेरि we already know the story. And जुन चाहिँ एक्स्ट्रा सिनहरू हामीलाई लागेको हुनसक्छ होइन त्यो चाहिँ लाइक बिल्डअपको लागि युज भएको हुनसक्छ जुन चाहिँ सेकेन्ड टाइम वाच गर्दाखेरि it's no use for us anymore. And it's very hard process, right? Because when you're making a movie, uh, you have invested so much time and effort in it. And कुनै सिनमा especially like for actors and technical crew who are working on it, they might be biased towards it, right? Like in the कसैको favorite scene हुनसक्छ but director or editor might be like, yeah, maybe we should get rid of that. On the head, like actor level, and all of that. And again, for the same thing can be for director as well and editor. Like the director, like the main manla saying editor might be like, yeah, maybe we should get rid of that. And so that's the halko situations. And again, I really don't want to watch movie twice. I usually watch it once. I usually watch it again after like 5-6 years. So like त्यो जुन चाहिँ स्टोरीको जुन चाहिँ मलाई मेमोरीमा हुन्छ त्यो हल्का फेड भइसकेको हुन्छ and like I can again watch it, right? So back to back watch गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ like you said त्यो सिनहरू repetitive लाग्न सक्छ होइन. And I kind of am in like opposite side of it. And कुनै कुनै मुभीहरूको जुन चाहिँ डिलिटेड सिनहरूमा हेर्छु म होइन, and I'm like किन एड नगरेको त राम्रो छ होइन. तर लाइक एज अ डिरेक्टर एज अ एडिटर यु हेभ टु मेक द्याट चोइस हुन्छ नि, डिसिजन लिनु पऱ्यो कि लाइक ओके वी हेभ टु मेक स्योर कि ओभरअल अडियन्सको लागि, नट जस्ट फर मी होइन, ओभरअल अडियन्सको लागि दिस माइट बी द बेस्ट, दिस इज द बेस्ट कट टाइपको.
तर तिमीले भने रङ होइन होइन त्यो सेकेन्ड भ्युइङमा रिपिटेटिभ लाग्नु भनेर, बट when you watch it, I think that's why when you are editing it, right? Like your whole idea has to be how can I make movie as tight as possible? How can I make, because as I said, every story is interesting to an aspect. I know every story has an interesting aspect on it. How do you tell it makes the huge difference? So if you figure out like, hey, how can I make this succinct, कसरी यसलाई like tight बनाउने, people को interest captive बनाइराख्ने हुन्छ नि, त्यसमा focus को लागि हो, like scene काट्ने वेले generally, like for an example.
Yeah, so here's the thing, right? Like तिमीले अघि नै चाहिँ कुरा गर्यो नेपाली अडियन्सेसहरूको लागि चाहिँ मुभी वाचिङको जुन चाहिँ डेप्थ छ त्यो बढिरहेको छ एन्ड अल अफ द्याट होइन. तर रियालिटी इज द्याट इट्स नट जस्ट लाइक सबै ओभरअलको त्यो मुभी भ्युइङ एक्सपिरियन्स त्यो इम्प्रुभ भएर होइन कि देयर आर सम एस्पेक्ट अफ इट, लाइक इट्स अ स्पेक्ट्रम, राइट? कसैको लाइक हुन्छ पहिला 10% वर सिनेफाइल भने अहिले मेबी इट्स लाइक 30%. But there are majority of people, or like at least 70 or like 56, whatever percent, there are percentage of people who like to watch simple movie, who don't want to think, who might not be emotionally as invested. Right? So it's overall it's a tough decision. And since you are a filmmaker, you might be more inclined towards making movie for like cinephiles. I know like they understand technical aspect of it. For example, when like tension scene shoot गर्दाखेरि you might add camera movement to it. For example, a cinephile will understand it, cinephile will get it, it will enhance their movie watching experience. For non-cinephiles, they might be like camera किन हल्लिरहेको छ, राम्रोसँग एक्टरको अनुहार पनि हेर्न पाएको छैन होइन. So त्यो हुन सक्छ नि त. So it has to be balanced, right? So it's a tough act. And again, yeah.
Oh, I mean, filmmaking is a tough act, kind of in general. Filmmaking is a tough act because you're kind of like trying to convince somebody that what your story you are saying. But I think मेरो major opinion चाहिँ के हो भने, how can you captivate the audience? Audience लाई कसरी captivate गर्न सकिन्छ, and how can you like make sure you are conveying what you are trying to convey, or you are like kind of like blackmailing people into thinking certain way and stuff like that. But again, it's a longer conversation. Plus अर्को एउटा expect मलाई चाहिँ filmmaking को in general चाहिँ expect के हो भने, I want like, again, I'll give you अलिकति ground about like every scene काहीँ कुनै build-up हुन सक्छ, कुनै के हुन सक्छ. So I'll give you ground on that. But I feel like मलाई चाहिँ के होस् जस्तो लाग्छ भने मुभीमा, whenever you are watching movie, you want to make sure, म जहिले पनि उयसको एक्जाम्पल दिन्छु कि साइकलको चेनको एक्जाम्पल दिन्छु कि, the way it connects with it, सबै कनेक्ट हुन्छ नि साइकलको चेन होइन. I feel like movie has to connect that way, like scenes have to connect that way. Like मलाई feel होस् कि I am invested in everything, like हरेक सिन पछिको सिन पछिको सिन पछि, like For an example, why is this scene here instead of somewhere else?
Mm. Yeah.
हुन्छ नि, why is this scene in front of this scene and not
Mm.
behind this scene?
Mm.
हुन्छ नि, त्यस्तो एक्सपेक्टर. I think those are something that can be improved.
Yeah, त्यो एस्पेक्टमा चाहिँ लाइक आई जस्ट रिमेम्बर कि सिद्धार्थ आनन्दको जुन चाहिँ मुभीहरू हुन्छ बलिउडमा होइन, दे हेभ लाइक ग्रेट सिन्स, तर इट जस्ट स्टिक्स आउट एज सोर थम क्या, त्यो जुन चाहिँ कनेक्सन भनेको छ नि होइन, त्यो कनेक्सन नभइकन कुनैमा चाहिँ सिन्स इट सेल्फ मात्रै हेऱ्यो भने लुक्स लाइक ग्रेट मुभी, तर बिफोर एन्ड आफ्टर द्याट सिन हेऱ्यो भने चाहिँ वाट काइन्ड अफ मुभी इज दिस जस्तो खालको फिल हुन्छ क्या उसको मुभीहरूमा चाहिँ होइन. And talking about back to cinematography and अहिलेको जुन चाहिँ trend छ, especially in Bollywood movies, and I hope Nepali movie don't like get influenced by it. If you watch some of the latest masala Bollywood movies, you see कि everything is like it's centered, okay? Like actors are in center of the frame and all of that for like entire trailer, entire scene. It seems like they are kind of focused for सोसियल मिडियाको जुन चाहिँ सर्ट्सको लागि फर्मेट छ होइन, त्यसको लागि फोकस गरेर बनाएको जस्तो खालको लाइक फिल हुन्छ क्या. लाइक आई वाज वाचिङ दिस ट्रेलर अफ ये जवानी है त इस खाना होइन, त्यसमा 90% चाहिँ ठ्याक्क सेन्टर अफ फ्रेममै छ क्या, लाइक हुन्छ नि. एन्ड द्याट काइन्ड अफ लाइक टेक्स अवे फ्रम जुन चाहिँ लाइक सिनेमाटोग्राफी एन्ड अल अफ द्याट वी टकिङ अबाउट होइन, जस्ट फर सर्ट्सको लागि भनेर. इट्स या इट काइन्ड अफ फिल्स अड.
Mm. Yeah, that's weird. I mean, it's almost like I'm lost in a टेक्चर कुरा गरेको थिएँ नेटफ्लिक्सले मुभिजहरूलाई म अलिकति डिस्क्रिप्सन धेरै हाल बिकज पिपल आर लाइक लुकिङ एट देयर फोन एन्ड वाचिङ मुभी भनेर भने जस्तो इट्स काइन्ड अफ लाइक इन सिमिलर भेन. बट अगेन आई मिन आई एम ह्याप्पी. It's getting better. I mean, I think as far as I have heard and all that, like मान्छेहरूको इन्ट्रेस्ट पनि बढी छ मुभिजहरू हेर्न जाने, यताउति इन्ट्रेस्ट पनि बढी छ. So it's good. It's good for all of us. It's good for overall movie industries. Anything else we want to talk about, Aza, your bike?
So I want to ask you about this, right?
Mhm.
What do you think about independent films in Nepal? Like जुन चाहिँ independent filmmakerहरूको like जुन moviesहरू, जस्तो कि हलिउडमा they have this production houses which are more focused towards indie type of movies होइन, जस्तो कि Entrepreneur, A21 production house भयो, they are more focused towards like independent filmmakersहरूको लागि. What do you think about similar thing in Nepal? Like, is there any production house which is focused on Nepali movies, which independent directors are like that kind of things?
So नेपालको कन्टेक्स्टमा चाहिँ होइन, I feel like नेपालमा most of the movies that you see होइन, it has that independent filmmaking को उयो vein on it होइन. हाम्रो युट्युब हाम्रो युट्युबबाट प्रड्युस हुने मुभिजहरू has like that independent movies को उयो plus lot of time difference in मलाई चाहिँ मेरो पर्सनल ओपिनियनमा चाहिँ the difference between independent movie and like what do you call mainstream movie भनेको lot of time it's the one kind of story that you are saying, you are trying to say. Second, budget होइन. So म दुईटा एक्सपेक्टमा लाग्छ. लाइक मास मुभिजहरू भनेको चाहिँ अलिकति जेनरली पब्लिकलाई धेरै अपिल गर्ने खालको स्टोरिजहरूलाई चाहिँ मास मानिन्छ. नेपालको कन्टेक्स्टमा चाहिँ एक्चुअली भन्नुपर्दा आई फिल लाइक the line between indie and mainstream movie is very thin. I don't think we have mainstream, so-called mainstream भनेर. There are certain movies, there are certain things for sure. But a lot of time, नेपालको कन्टेक्स्टमा चाहिँ I think it's kind of merged. The line is very thin between indie and commercial movies. So that's just my perspective of it.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah.
So, anything else you want to ask me about or you want to talk about?
I think I'm good. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much. Dhanyavad. We'll see you guys next time here. Thank you.
Mhm.